Recapping our biggest story of the day, where the Socceroos have scored a come-from-behind win over Japan in their final World Cup qualifier at the MCG this evening.
Yeah, for a full wrap of the evening, here is the Fox Sports commentary panel for their post-match report.
Thanks very much. Well, Australia's quest to qualify for the World Cup, although it was determined in the positive sense 2 match days ago, it's finally finished today here at the MCG. 70,000 people watched Australia come from behind to beat Japan by 2-1. Tim Cahill with a brace, the hero again. Mark Bosnich, Ange Postecoglou and Paul Trimboli watched the entire match unfold. It didn't start great for us, Trimmers. Marcus Tulio Tanaka, the big central defender for Japan, giving the visitors the lead on 39 minutes.
Yeah, and it was a rare defensive blunder by Australia. Lucas Neal lost his man at the set piece, and all of a sudden Tulio Tanaka powered the header in, beat Timmy with a standing jump, and first time the goal has been breached in 8 matches, so disappointment there. And the real question mark then on how they were going to react to that, the Aussies.
It was the half-time talking point, Ant, wasn't it? Righto, let's see how Australia go. They hadn't conceded a goal, therefore they hadn't been behind in a stage 4 match. Didn't really know how they would fare after Marcus Tulio Tanaka did such a great job, really, in the whole game, not just giving his team the lead. But what did you make of Australia's comeback, the second half, care of the man of the moment, Tim Cahill?
Well, we all were waiting for our reaction, and we got the right reaction, and the headlines will be 2-goal Timmy, or 2 good Timmy, or 2 times Timmy, whatever you want to call it. Purely the genius of Tim Cahill, what he's good at. Should never get to this ball. He's facing 2 guys who are probably a good 6 inches taller than him, but he's the one that makes it. He's the one that gets his head on it with control and with the same sort of timing that we've become renowned to seeing him in the Premier League. And he was the instigator. He was the one that finished it off, but the whole team in the second half reacted really positively.
Nick Carl, who was substituted, forced the issue that won the corner. It was a good corner that led to the second goal. Mark Bosnich, if you could milk this and make it into gold, you'd have a lot of bullion on your hands.
You would. He reminds me of a player that played for the 80s for England, captain of England and Manchester United, Brian Robson, with his timing and his runs into the... Probably does it with a little more regularity than Brian did it, but he's just gold, and every time he scores, Australia never lose. And Japan must be the sick of the side of him.
Well, let's not forget it was Kaiserslautern 2006. Tim Cahill off the bench. Australia down by 1-0 in their first ever World Cup match, and they came back to win that one 3-1. 2 goals from Tim Cahill, and here we are, the last match of World Cup qualifying for 2010, and Tim Cahill's done it again. Australia on their way to South Africa 2010. They finished top of their group in stage 4 of qualifying, clear of Japan by 5 points.
Yes, thank you to Andy Harper and the boys there. A good night for Australian football. And Aussie coach Pim Veerbeek, he took time out a little bit earlier today to talk with our very own Simon Hill.
Yeah, it's because Veerbeek promised at the start of qualifying that he would sing the Australian National Anthem if we did qualify. Well, this is how he went.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In his at every stage, advance or in joyful strains, just let us sing. Advance Australia's fair.
Fantastic.
Only one mistake.
Well done.
One mistake. I'm very disappointed in myself.
That was excellent.
Gutsy, slightly embarrassed. Gutsy. President Eddie Maguire says the departures of Terry Wallace and Dean Laidley in the past fortnight won't force them to make a quick decision on the future of Mick Malthouse. The Pies coach will celebrate his 600th game as coach this weekend. Malthouse is out of contract at season's end. And adding to the intrigue is the fact that favourite son Nathan Buckley is a leading contender for the jobs at Richmond and North Melbourne.
They're in active service at Collingwood at the moment. Some clubs have obviously started looking at 2010. At the risk of being cliched, Sydney at ANZ Stadium Saturday night is the biggest game in the history of the Collingwood Football Club.
In other words, I don't want to talk about it. Malthouse career at Footscray back in 1984.